Yo, what it do, what it ain't, what it is. It's your boy, Mr. Wilson. I'm back with another one. I do appreciate y'all coming to check out my page. You know what I'm saying? It makes me feel very appreciated that y'all would come spend time with me. You feel me? I do want to touch bases on the updates, but I do believe the last episode I did was when we were 3-0. I didn't come on after we lost to the Colts or the Cowboys, because quite frankly, those episodes probably would have got restricted and banned off YouTube. We had no business losing to the Colts whatsoever. The team came out flat. We had no business losing to the Colts at all. Offense was off, defense was off, special teams was off, everything was bad. I didn't come on for the Cowboys game. We actually went up for the Cowboys game. We got caught up in all that rain, but it was fun. We had a good time just mingling with fans. There was like an hour delay or so. So all we did was eat and drink. That's all we did. But it was a lot of fun still. And again, we should have won that game. You know, defense did their job. Offense didn't quite do what they were supposed to do. Even though the defense gave the touchdown up at the end, offense didn't score enough points. You know, defense had takeaways. Defense got stops. We just didn't score enough points. So yeah. And then the win against the Raiders, I was like, I ain't gonna come on here and get too hyped. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're supposed to beat them. You know what I mean? Just like we're supposed to beat the Giants. We're supposed to beat them. I just, I was impressed to see them bounce back after 2 game skid. And so, yeah, I want to kind of talk about the whole quarterback situation. A lot of people hit me. A lot of my friends hit me. And they was like, yo, what you think about the quarterback situation? And my whole take on it was Russ was named the starter. Before the injuries and all that, Russ was named the starter. The understanding was Russ was starting. He was the starter. Russ was the face. Russ was out kissing babies. Russ was doing everything he was supposed to do. I believe that most teams, if they're 4-2, they would have left it alone. But I do like what Mike Tomlin said to Brandon Marshall, I believe it was. He was like, hey, 4-2, that's nice and all, but we're trying to win trophies. We're trying to win Super Bowls. So, I like that his head is in the right place. I do believe a lot of people that got caught up in the 4-2 hype. Justin Fields did what he was supposed to do. I will say that. He did what he was supposed to do. You did your job. It reminds me of, not to say Justin Fields or any of these guys, but I remember when we had Big Ben, we had Charlie Batch, and we had Byron Leftwich on the team. And so Byron Leftwich, Charlie Batch, man, they could have definitely been starters somewhere at that time, at least early on. But they sat right there. They did their job. They chilled out. And at some point, we might see Fields again, but I do like how the two are playing this situation perfectly. If we rewind to not so long ago, Kenny Pickett, he completely fumbled the situation. He heard we got Russell Wilson. Now he's demanding a trade. When the whole time, Mason Rudolph is the one that got screwed over. Mason Rudolph was in Pittsburgh before Kenny Pickett. I believe he was in Pittsburgh before Josh Dobbs. Or if not, he was there right around the same time. And he just kept getting looked over. He never was considered to be that guy. And even so much so, Mason Rudolph is the reason why we were winning at the end of the season last year. The reason why we even made it to the playoffs was because of Mason Rudolph at the quarterback position. If that had been Kenny Pickett, we would not have won those games. The offense, for what it's worth, looked way better with Mason Rudolph than it ever looked with Kenny Pickett. And in fact, I got an interesting stat for you. Through 6 weeks, we went 4-2. Justin Fields has more touchdowns than Kenny Pickett had all of last year. So you telling me in 6 weeks, our current backup quarterback has more touchdowns than Kenny Pickett had all of last season? Bro, That is trash if you're Kenny Pickett. There is no excuse for him to have reacted the way he did. Kenny Pickett was the starter. He was drafted as the starter. They hyped him up to be the next big thing in Pittsburgh because they had inside information. They saw how he moved. He was in the locker room next door to them and all this other stuff. And he was a complete flop. He's not a leader. I will say this. He had some great fourth quarter comebacks. But if they had played that way the whole game, there would be no need to have fourth quarter comeback. Kenny Pickett was a starter. Russ was understood as a starter. The way each handled the situation, even Justin Fields, throw him in the mix. The way each handled the situation, Russ and Justin handled that situation beautifully. That's the way you're supposed to handle that situation. Still be a supporter of your teammates. Still be positive. Still help others. One thing I saw was Russ, when he was struggling in the first half or the first quarter of the game, him and Justin Fields was on the sideline together, looking at the little iPad or whatever and trying to figure it out, looking at defenses, looking at coverages. Like, that was a beautiful thing to see. I love how they're mature about the situation. You know, leading up to the game this week against the Jets, it was like, oh, Russell Wilson's taking first snaps. And, you know, Justin Fields was like, look, if I played better, I would be the starter. And to his defense, if we would have went 6-0, they wouldn't have put Russell Wilson in there. They would not have. They would have gotten so much backlash for that. They would not have put Russell Wilson in there. And in fact, this decision was Mike Tomlin. So who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, he might have been like, look, still, I want to see what Russ got. And honestly, it was the perfect part of the schedule because if you're going to make a move like that, to be fair, or the competition is somewhat even, you got to give Russ a shot before our bye week. Because after our bye week, our schedule is brutal. We play 6 division games. We play the Chiefs. We play the Eagles. It is absolutely brutal. So to give him a fair shot, the same kind of shot Justin Fields had, you got to play him before the bye. You know, because after the bye, if he doesn't do well, then it's like, well, you know, maybe he is done. Nah, we want to see what he looks like in totality. You know, I watched the game on TV, and I really dislike whenever Chris Collinsworth calls our games because he is a certified Steelers hater. You know, he's a Bengal, true and true. And he's a certified Steelers hater. Even when we had the Killer Bees, he was talking trash about us. Like, how do you talk trash about top 1, top 2 offense at that time? We had Big Ben, we had Martavis Bryant, we had Antonio Brown, we had Le'Veon Bell, we had Jesse James, and Jesse James wasn't used the way he should have been used. At some point, we had D'Angelo Williams with Le'Veon. You couldn't tell me that offense, the points that offense put up, I really believe they helped transcend the league to what you see today. Because they was just running up scores left and right. But they were still letting us down in games we should have won. But even the games where we're doing well, he still talked down on us. So it was kind of painful listening to it, especially early on. Because, you know, Russ make a mistake. Well, they might have wanted to see what Justin Fields would have done there, and the camera kept cutting to Justin Fields. They wanted to see what Justin Fields would have did in that situation. And it's like, okay, bro, give it a break, man. Justin Fields is on the bench right now. Just give it a break. And I've never one series, one play was bad. Justin Fields would have ran it right there. He had so much open field. Justin Fields would have ran it. Next play, he threw like a 40-yard pass. Oh, well, I mean, that's why they have Russell in there. Because Justin Fields, we didn't see that with Justin Fields. It's like, bro, you talking on both sides of the fence. Some announcers, man, you got to just kind of like tune them out because they just hate for personal reasons. But yeah, I mean, Justin Fields said if I would have played better, I would be the starter. And you know, I'm gonna get to the game, but I like Russ is a stand-up dude. They are both leaders of men. And honestly, I've said this before. I don't know if I ever put that out, but we're in a good situation. We have good problems. We have two guys that are starting quarterbacks in the National Football League. We have two stand-up guys. I loved how Russ came in the game with a suit on. It's business. It's time for business, man. Let's get to it. And Russ is bringing that old school, like, yo, this is how you move. Bet that. He locked in, and I don't know why Russ gets the hate that he gets, man. Like, the guy is just genuinely a good guy. Like, okay, he went to Denver and the guys, for whatever reason, didn't like him. Could it have been that the organization wasn't helping him the way the Pittsburgh Steelers are helping him? Like, what's the difference? I would really love to know what the difference is between Denver and Pittsburgh, besides the obvious. But whatever happened in Denver, it is a complete 180 in Pittsburgh. Complete 180 in Pittsburgh. And to be honest with you, I love that for Russ because he didn't let people change who he was. He was being critiqued for kissing babies and going to hospitals and doing charity. That's what he does. He does charity work. He goes to church. That's what he do. What you hating on him for? What's the problem? I don't get it. I don't get the hate. I don't get the negativity concerning him. And quite frankly, it's pretty whack. Like, you're trying to knock a genuinely good person. This guy, he don't bother nobody. After the game, he mid-interview, hey, all credit to Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying? He did what he was supposed to do, and he got us to this point. He got us to this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is big of him, because in the moment where he's getting shine, in the moment where he's getting light, pause that. We're not going to forget about Justin and his contributions and what he did and what he means to this team. First 6 weeks, Russ on the sideline in the full gear, high-fiving guys, you know what I'm saying, hyping Justin up, this, that, and the third. All people doing is media. All people doing is talking shit about the dude. That's whack. That is whack. Leave that man alone. He is not bothering nobody. And if the teammates don't care, why do y'all care so much? What did you see Sunday night? Justin doing the same thing. He's in full gear. He's high-fiving teammates. He doing celebrations and everything with the guys. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. If Russ wasn't doing that, if Justin wasn't doing that, there would be a story about that too. They will make up something. Oh, there's tension in Pittsburgh. There's this quarterback controversy they want Pittsburgh to have so bad that no matter how many times they spin it and how they try to spin it, it just gets shot down every time. There is no quarterback controversy in Pittsburgh. And quite frankly, I would love to see Russ and Justin in Pittsburgh long term. If they can keep this success going, if they can work together, if there's a space for the both of them, I would love for both guys to be there because they're both leaders and they're both good guys. And, like I said earlier with Big Ben and Charlie Batch and Leftwich, you need someone that's a capable backup. You need that. And it's almost like a cheat code that we got two starting quarterbacks. I think we do well. The number one thing we were lacking was an offense that could score points. With our defense, and if our offense can score points, what are we talking about? Book it. It's a wrap. So I am cautiously optimistic, even more so now, because I see real potential. We haven't, like what Russ brings to the table, and people are right. Justin Fields and Russ are two different players. They bring two different things to the table. We've seen what Justin do. He's able to move. He's mobile. He's going to do what he's supposed to do. He's going to do what he's supposed to do. Coach called a play, he's going to run that play. If it's the right read, he's going to make that play. If the read ain't there, he's going to pull it down, tuck it, run. Russ, when I say this, I'm not comparing Russ to Ben outside of this one thing. They're both Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. They're both Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So it's not a bad comparison either way. We haven't had a deep ball. We haven't seen a deep ball in Pittsburgh since Big Ben. No quarterback could throw a deep ball with accuracy in Pittsburgh since Big Ben. And granted, it's only been, 4 years? But still, that 4 years seemed like an eternity. Like, there was no one that could throw the ball. The defenses knew they ain't had to guard nobody past like 20 yards. If they gonna get it, they gonna get it the hard way. We're gonna make them get it the hard way. Ain't nobody taking the top off the defense, nothing. Mason had a couple plays last year, with GP, but a lot of that stuff was GP just making a play. Much like with the deep balls, whatever. Oh yeah, those were bad passes from Russ. No, Russ gave GP a chance to go get that. Whereas we haven't seen a quarterback since Big Ben willing to consistently throw a deep ball and give his guy a chance to make a play. And once that deep ball started dropping, it opened everything else up. Then we got 37 points. Game over. The Jets came out. They got that 15. We got 2 field goals or whatever. After that, we scored 31 unanswered points. Bro, we haven't averaged 31 points in a game. We haven't averaged 30 points in a game since Ben. So, yeah, I'm Team Russ. I was already Team Russ, as you can see. I had his jersey when he signed, or when everything got finalized. I ordered his jersey this summer. This summer, I was rocking his jersey this summer. You know what I'm saying? And then we got Justin Fields like the week after, or a couple weeks after. Oh, it might have been a week after, because Kenny Pickett immediately requested out. But it was the understanding that Russ was the starter. So I'm going to get the starting QB's jersey. And it doesn't hurt that my last name's Wilson, obviously, Mr. Wilson Media. My last name's Wilson. Yeah, man, it's Wilson over here, man. Then I'm going to have to give me a Peyton Wilson jersey, too. And if we see what Roman Wilson do, I'm going to have to get his jersey, too. You feel me? But, yeah, I was rocking his jersey this summer. Folks was like, you wasted no time. I sure didn't. Man, Russ. So I've been having conversations about Russ since we got him. You know what I'm saying? Because people saw the jersey. Oh, man, I think he's done. Denver wasn't a good situation. Hey, big dog, if he comes to Pittsburgh and does what he did in Denver last year, we have a playoff run. We have a playoff run. I forget what it was, but, I think it was like 20 touchdowns or something like that. Like 6 interceptions. Hey, big dog, I'll take that. Kenny Pickett might have had 10. It's absolutely insane. So I was rocking the jersey this summer. And so people saw, me, and oh man, based on that Denver situation, I think Russ is done. And I was like, my response to that was, if he does what he did in Denver, we have a playoff run. We get a couple playoff wins, and we have a conversation that we haven't even been able to entertain in a couple years. We could talk about AFC championship game, but, I'd rather just keep it an AFC championship game for right now. Kansas City's still undefeated. We still got to play Baltimore twice, potentially 3 times. So it's like, yeah, but that's a way better conversation. That is a way better position than we've been since, truthfully, Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell left. If we're being honest, that's a long time, man. That is a long time, man. So, I'm here for it. And I thought it was just a lot of stuff going on. Jets got the 15 points because they said that Fitzpatrick used leverage to get over to block the field goal. You looked at the replay, there was no leverage there. And then for them boys to come back and get another one, just for the special teams coach and the way they were celebrating with the special teams coach. Yo, I love that. I love that. You know what I'm saying? We got one anyway. Momentum completely changed. GP had a crazy catch. He caught it like 3 different times on one. Like, he caught that ball 3 different times before he went to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, he caught it, dude stripped it, popped up. He caught it again. Something happened. He almost lost it again, caught it again, and went to the ground. Like, even Devontae Adams was like, bro, that's insane. His facial expression said it all. Devontae Adams has to be the first guy in the league to lose to the same team 2 weeks in a row. How does that happen? Last week he's with the Raiders. They got spanked. This week He got traded to the Jets. They supposed to have rejuvenated the Jets offense. He got reunited with, his bromance with Aaron Rodgers or whatever, and took an L. Got super spanked in prime time. Like, that's crazy. And I don't think I've ever seen that, and we might not ever see that again. Did I want Devontae? Hell yeah, I wanted Devontae. But he wanted a reunion with Aaron Rodgers. Hey man, hats off to you, bro. I hope it works out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get some players, I don't get some moves because I thought people was in the business of winning and putting themselves in the best position to win. And to me, quite frankly, that wasn't the best position to win. He could have went. He ain't had to come to Pittsburgh. He could have went anywhere. And I mean that was before Buffalo got Coop. And Coop, I know Coop is in heaven. Amari Cooper is in heaven right now, bro. Like, Buffalo, he's going to fit right in with Buffalo. We got friends that are Buffalo Bills fans from Buffalo, and he fits right in line with their culture, how you carry yourself. Diggs was like, he was an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, he acted right while he was there. If we go out here this week and we spank the Giants the way we're supposed to spank the Giants, we're gonna get ranked up higher. So right now, and then we'll be 6-2 going into the bye. You can't ask. Well, you can ask. We could have been 8-0, but given the circumstances of trying to figure out a new quarterback, offensive lineman being plugged in every week, the secondary getting beat up a little bit. The outside linebacker, Herbig went out. Highsmith came back. So that's been like a carousel. Given the circumstances, man, 6-2 going into the bye, bruh, I'll take that. Over what would have been if we had Kenny Pickett. Just being honest. I'm not trying to harp on the past. I'm just being honest with you, man. Kenny Pickett was not it. And his attitude needed a serious adjustment. Everybody's like, oh, Russ is going to get killed back there. He can't move like Justin Fields. He's going to get killed back there. Yeah, that's the best. That's the most producing offense we've had since Big Ben. That's why you can't listen to these critics, man. A lot of them are undercover haters. A lot of them are paid to say certain stuff, quite frankly. A lot of them are undercover haters, bro. They know what it is in Pittsburgh. They know our culture. They know what we stand on. And a lot of them played in messed up places, and they're jealous. You know what I'm saying? People want to see you fall, man. Straight up. But, yeah. Good game. Good vibes. Everybody was on the sideline celebrating, having a good time. I haven't seen that since Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Martavis Bryant, the Killer Bees. I haven't seen that since the Killer Bees, man. That's a long time. Let's say we have a top 5 defense. If Russ played the way he played in Denver with this top 5 defense, we making noise this year. That's just what it is. And if we happen to go through this back half of the schedule and do better than anticipated, or at least do better than Baltimore, we're now in first place, second place, depending on how everything lines up in the AFC. We have home field advantage. That's dope. We're going to be in Pittsburgh for that playoff game, too. You dig? Broderick is really struggling. He's really struggling. I love my man. I love him. But he's really struggling. I don't know how he gets back on track, but he's doing just enough for it to not really be a serious concern or serious issue right now. But we about to go into the gauntlet, and I need my man to be on his game. Same way it was last year. I need for him to be on his game. We got to get him out the sophomore slump, and we got to get him back on his game. Hats off. Praises to McCullum. He stepped in center. He's doing a phenomenal job. He came in to finish the game up at Vegas against the Raiders. I was about to say Oakland. But against the Raiders. And he started this game. and he looked phenomenal. I didn't really touch about defense this week, but it was so nice to see Highsmith back. I love Herbig. But you see that he still has some room to grow. But if you bring him in with conjunction with TJ and Highsmith, he is flawless right now, and he fits right in. But Highsmith came back, and he took command of that side of the field once again, being a perfect co-pilot with TJ on that pass rush. Cam Hayward, man, he has rewinded the clock a little bit. He looks amazing. I hope he can stay healthy, and I hope he can stay with the same intensity that he's been playing. He's reminding me a lot of Casey Hampton, how he's just clogging up that middle of that field. They not getting much push in the middle of the field. He's just clogging it up and letting the guys do their job. So, hats off to Cam too. Deshaun Elliott is a dog. I don't know how Baltimore let that man walk. And what I love most about Deshaun Elliott, he came here with no fanfare. It wasn't a lot of hype around him coming like it was with Patrick Queen. And I ain't got no problem with Patrick Queen. He's doing his job. Patrick Queen is just doing his job. We'll take it. He's healthy. He's available. The best ability is availability. We love it. But Deshaun Elliott is an absolute dog. And he wears the same number as Ryan Clark. He is back there looking like Ryan Clark. Like, that guy, I don't understand what Baltimore got going on. But you don't let someone like that walk. Hats off to the Rook. Bishop, you did phenomenal, homie. Like, man, I know they came into the game thinking they're going to pick on the Rook. And the Rook let them know, nah, ain't shit sweet over here, homie. Go somewhere else with that shit. And I love that. I love it for the Rook. That should build him. That should build some confidence up with him. So, I was very, very happy to see him outperform, expectations. But let me know what you think. If I forgot something, let me know in the comments. In regards to the Steelers, I'm still working on my setup. I'm still trying to iron things out. I got some equipment coming to, better have the game interface and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm very excited going into the Giants situation. It's like the third week with a primetime game in a row. So, it's a lot of pressure, but I think the guys are up for it. I think they built for it, and I'm looking forward to see what they do. Till the next time, y'all stay up, y'all stay blessed. This your boy, Mr. Wilson, signing off. I'll holla at y'all. Peace.